Hey everyone, this is Anthony from Syracuse Martial Arts and the Gathering of Sabers, coming at you with another Saber review. A few weeks ago I was contacted by a company called YDDSaber in China. The guy that I spoke to was super nice, and I liked what I saw. You know, I had good luck with ordering overseas before as far as sabers. I've got my JingWu, which they treated me really well, and it's still one of my favorite sabers that I use for demos and training and all kinds of stuff. So I figured, let me give these guys a chance and take a look at what they have to offer. So I ended up ordering this saber here. This is called Harpy. All right, this is a 5-watt string blade. The blade is 28 inches long exactly from here to here. So not counting from here, actually counting from this base right here. Okay, 28 inches. I'll turn it on in a second. It does have sound. It has some special sound effects that I've figured out. And also the hilt is a 3-part construction. It's 1, 2, and 3. I took this part, I unscrewed this part to take a look inside. The speaker is housed in here with the wire connecting. I didn't go any further than that because I suck at messing with electronics and I don't want to break it. So anyway, let's look at how bright this is. Again, this is a 5-watt string blade, and the color for this is called ice blue. So it is perfectly lit because it's string blade from beginning to end. Perfectly lit. The only part that's not lit is this little area here. But I think for cosplay purposes, wow, it's really bright. It does have sounds. It does make the flash on clash sounds, but it doesn't actually flash on clash. Okay, if I hold the button down, I get that kind of cool thing, and if I just tap it one more time, it shuts off. Okay, you can see the speaker right here, right? It's actually pretty loud. Not the greatest sound in the world, but it's plenty loud. And what I've noticed is when I do cosplay events, the sabers are very subtle because cosplay events are typically loud. So this will probably get drowned out at cosplay events. The activation switch is very, it's embedded into the saber, which I like. I can't stand it when I can feel them in my way. It does have a port here, which I'm assuming is a recharge port. I hope it is. And they actually sent me this cable, which has a USB port right there, and along with that. So I'm guessing this is how I charge it. All right. Now, how it feels, you can't really tell from this camera, but the hilt has a somewhat texture to it, like it wasn't buffed perfectly, you know, smooth like you see most sabers. There's actually kind of a texture to it. Everything feels very smooth. Even this area here, it doesn't feel like it's going to tear into me. So that's really cool. You got a couple of screws here, which I'm assuming is what's helping hold in the blade. You have a screw there and a screw here. Of course, I'm not messing with that because, again, I don't want to break anything. So here's the saber. Total cost for this saber was $52, which is really cheap. And it got here in 6 days. That's pretty amazing, all the way from China, 6 days. However, the shipping was $35. So it came in at just under $100. But still, I mean, I actually like this saber. It's really a long hilt here. Let me see. I actually haven't even measured the length of the hilt. Let's take a look. All right. We're looking at from here to here, we're looking at just 15.5 inches. That's actually really long. That's longer than my Ultra Saber Sentinels. So there you go. But It gives you lots of room to grab the hilt here. It just feels like a really long hilt for a short blade. I wish the blade was, you know, a little bit longer, maybe 6 inches longer. I'm used to using 32 and 36 inch blades, but still, for cosplay, I think the blade is long enough. Now, I've always wanted to try a string blade because the only string blade sabers that I own are the what do you call them? The master replicas, the MRs. Brain fart there for a second. But those you know you can't duel with, and also those they're really not bright at all. Whereas this, I mean, it's killing my camera. It's very bright. Okay, so you know, bang for the buck, I think it's pretty good if you want to get yourself a saber that has sound, really, really bright light. Only one color though, if you go with string blade. If you go with the in-hilt LED, then you can get the different colors. I for some reason really wanted a string blade because I felt that, well, I just wanted to experiment, you know, with it. So there you go, the Harpy or Harpy 5-watt string blade from YDDSaber, 28-inch long blade, 15.5-inch hilt with sound. There you go. Check it out. So finally getting a chance to actually use this. What I find is the balance point is right about here. Okay, and one thing that I like and dislike about this switch is the fact that it's, you know, it's embedded and that it's smooth. It still is very sensitive. So if I just touch, it turns right on. However, if I just touch again, it shuts right off. So sometimes when you're swinging the saber around, your hand might move, or the saber might shift in your hand or something, and you might accidentally shut that off. So a few times while I was, you know, doing some spins and some stuff like that, I had to be very careful that my hand was way up here or down here. If my hand is here, spinning is a lot easier because of the balance point. If I'm here, all the weight goes here, which throws the spinning off. However, the cool thing about this hilt being as long as it is I was actually able to do a few moves that I can't do with, let's say, my Solus hold, for example, like the spinning around the neck techniques, where the hilt literally goes around my neck and I grab it with the other hand. Can't do it this close to the camera. Maybe there'll be some footage in here of that. One bad thing though is these claws. They are claws. I was doing a spin behind my back where I put the saber behind me and I grab with my other hand. My hand went right into that and I actually gave myself a little cut. It's nothing major, but I noticed it after I was done. I was like, oh, look at that, a flap of skin. So that's pretty much my quick eval on this saber. Spinning wise, when you're here, I really like it. These claws are a little bit on the sharp side, you know, so I would definitely want to, you know, maybe, you know, take these to a machine or have somebody, you know, kind of grind them down or something to make them much smoother, because I can see myself cutting myself again with that. This switch, to turn it off, I wish you had to hold it a little bit longer so that accidental hits don't shut it off, because it does just shut off if you accidentally touch it. The other thing which I noticed, which is very, very minor, it wasn't too bad, was that the sections got a little loose after a while. So, you know, doing some spinning in forms and stuff, and then I go like that and it needed to be tightened up a little bit. It wasn't really loose at all. I mean, it probably would have just kept going, but that was the only thing. So there you go. It's super bright and it's fun to play with, and for the price, it's really cool. I'm going to be doing some sparring with it, very light sparring with it, just to test out the string blades. So that video will be coming hopefully soon. Okay, so got to do a little bit of dueling with the Harpy, and it actually did really well. The blade, as you can see, the LEDs are fine. It's got a little bit of marring here and there, but nothing too crazy. This is actually a shrink wrap right here, and it held on with no problem. The hilt, really nothing. I was getting hit on the hilt because I really wanted this to get smacked around, and it did fine. The funny part about it was when this was getting hit, it made a dinging sounds. So this is the new nickname for this is the pitchfork or tuning fork. Tuning fork. So that is it. For the money, this is a fun saber for spinning, for form work, and even for dueling. And of course, only time will tell as I use it how long it lasts. So YDDSaber, I like them. That's it.